Hello, boys and girls. It sure is good to see you again. I'm here to tell you a tale of woe, danger, death, and mathematics. It's all started with me putting pedal to the metal. Pedal to the metal, you say? Well, I'm not talking about putting a flower petal on a metal ornament that honors achievement or some other great deed. But I'm talking about putting your foot on an accelerator pedal and pushing it to the floor, which is metal. And I did that. You see, George and Bertha came back from an errand, and they got out of the car, and they left the car running, and they left the door open, and I got in. Oh, I got in. And I put my hoof on the accelerator pedal. I didn't know what it was then, and the car started moving. It started out at 0 miles per hour. And before I knew it, 1 second later, it was going 5 miles per hour. And then it was going 10 miles per hour. And then 15, and then 20. And I freaked out. Oh, I freaked out. And I hit the lamppost. I'm okay, though. I was going under a constant acceleration. I learned from the police officer. He said, "Mr. Moo, you were constantly accelerating at 5 miles per hour every second." "But, Mr. Moo, you were averaging 10 miles per hour, and that is a no-no for a cow." And I said, "Officer, you said I was going 20 miles per hour, and now you said I was going 10 miles per hour. I do not understand." And he said, "Mr. Moo, it is really very simple, that average speed," and you learn this in the police academy, average speed under constant acceleration is a simple average of the beginning and the ending speeds. And so, Mr. Moo, in your case, 0 plus your ending speed 20 divided by 2 is 10 miles per hour. So your average speed was 10 miles per hour, and at 4 seconds, well, obviously, Mr. Moo, that's why you're in trouble, because you hit a lamppost. Well, so then I said, how high was the cliff? Because that was my question. That's an important question for a cow, especially after your Uncle Floyd has just taken a plunge off a cliff. There's my Uncle Floyd taking a plunge off the cliff. Uncle Floyd was in the air for 5.6 seconds. Whoa, that's a long time to be watching your Uncle Floyd drop from up there to down there. Now, Uncle Floyd was going at 32 feet per second. 32 feet per second. How do you know that, Mr. Moo? That's what the other cows in the pasture asked me. He said, "How do you know that, Mr. Moo? How do you know that Uncle Floyd was going 32 feet per second per second?" That's an acceleration. 32 feet per second per second. Well, I know that. I told them, I know that because everything drops at 32 feet per second. Don't you remember when my nose ring fell off, that it dropped at 32 feet per second every second? And they said, no. And I said, when George dropped that hammer off the roof, don't you remember it dropping at 32 feet per second every second? And the other cow said, no, we don't remember that either. But it's true. Everything on Earth basically drops at 32 feet per second every second. If you are flying an airplane and the airplane loses a wheel, the wheel drops at 32 feet per second every second. That means after 1 second, the thing is going 32 feet per second. And after 2 seconds, it's going 64 feet per second. And after 3 seconds, it's going 96 feet per second, and so forth. Well, you may say, well, how fast is that really, Mr. Moo? Well, obviously, it's 21 9/11 miles per hour every second. So after 1 second, about 21.5 miles per hour, a little bit more than that, and then after 2 seconds, about 43 miles per hour, and then after, and so forth. You get the idea. You are intelligent, more so than a cow. So back to Uncle Floyd and the question, how high was the cliff? Because Uncle Floyd really should not have been up there, although it doesn't do him much good to really know this now. But if we had known this back then, we might have said, Uncle Floyd, stay away from that cliff because it's more than 10 inches. Cows do not get anywhere near anything more than 10 inches. And here was Uncle Floyd. He probably didn't know how tall the cliff was. Well, Uncle Floyd was at 0 feet per second. And he ended up at 32 times t feet per second, pretending that we don't know it's 5.6 seconds, but 32 times 5.6 would give us his ending speed. And the average then is 0 plus 32t divided by 2, 16t feet per second. And then Uncle Floyd, see, the distance when he was at the top of the cliff was 0. And distance is speed times time, rate times time. So at the bottom of the cliff, it was the speed, his average speed, 16t times time, 16t squared feet. And so we now know that Uncle Floyd, to you, and to me also, I'm a respectful cow, 501.76 feet. That is certainly more than 10 inches, and if Uncle Floyd had known that, he probably would have freaked out and run away from the cliff. But he didn't know that, poor Uncle Floyd. Well, so I told you I had a story of woe, of danger, and death. Well, until next time, goodbye.